So we're back with the 8th video in the Explaining Dragon Ball's Deities series. In the last video in the series we talked about the Supreme Kai position, and I explained how they're born, what their job is, how powerful they are, as well as a few other things. Now this is going to be a continuation of the last video, however, in this one we're going to be talking about all Supreme Kai, past and present from Universe 7. Now, as I said in the previous videos about the Kai, to really understand them, you need to understand their race first, the Shinjin. Now, I've got a video about the Shinjin, so if you want to watch that first, I will have that linked in the description. Now, the 8th video, wow, actually, we're getting pretty close to the end of the series, it looks like. I've only got 5 more videos planned for it, so if you like this video, feel free to check out the rest of the videos on the playlist and subscribe. So, here we go. Explaining Dragon Ball's Deities, Part 8. Who are the Supreme Kai of Universe 7? Oh wait, I almost forgot. Before we talk about that, you have to spend the next 20 seconds watching my intro, and I will see you on the other side. So the 15th generation Supreme Kai, despite the fact that there are 14 others that came before him, the oldest of the Supreme Kai of Universe 7 that we really know anything about is Elder Kai, or Old Kai, or whatever you want to call him. An interesting character, but to be honest with you, nothing about him really makes any sense. He's a walking contradiction. So, the Elder Kai is basically the Shinjin version of Master Roshi. They have a lot in common, but the thing that they have in common the most is their perverted nature. Goku at one point managed to bribe Elder Kai with a girly magazine, despite the fact that he is a god, much to the surprise of both Shin and Kibito. Goku tried again to bribe him later on in the series with another magazine, but he wouldn't take it. He said that he didn't need one because he can see anything in the universe, including girls changing their clothes. He eventually agrees to help Goku, though, as long as he is allowed to play with Bulma's boobs. It is what it is, right? What makes this aspect, though, of his personality so interesting is that, unlike Master Roshi, Elder Kai's not actually a perverted old man, despite his appearance, because the Shinjin are genderless. There are no men or women, so his attraction to women doesn't make any sense. Now, the earliest event in his life that we know anything about is the event that caused his appearance, his old appearance. He was reading a comic book when a witch snuck up behind him and took his Potara, one of them, and put it on, which caused them to fuse, which is why he looks the way he does. Now, this is one more thing that just does not make any sense, because as the Supreme Kai, he lives on the sacred world of the Kais, correct? The only people that live there are the Supreme Kai, so there should not have been a witch running around his planet. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Now, later though, while the Destroyers and the Kais were having their coordination meeting that they hold every 1,000 years, something happened and pissed Beerus off. Now, since Beerus could not destroy the sacred world of the Kai, he chose to seal the old Kai in a Z-Sword. In the Z-Sword, I should say. And then it took 75 million years for somebody to finally free him, which happened when Goku and Gohan were playing with the sword. Now, in the original Japanese manga, he is called the Grand Supreme Kai. And this is just one more thing that doesn't make any sense about him, because yes, the Grand Supreme Kai is a thing. The previous one is the reason that Buu turned fat and retarded, because the previous Grand Kai was a big old fatty. But the Supreme Kai, the Grand Supreme Kai, should be over the other Supreme Kai, but Elder Kai is little more than just an advisor for the current Supreme Kai for Universe 7, Shin. It's important to remember, though, that there's a difference in a Supreme Kai and the Supreme Kai. Now, he made 2 major contributions to the story. The first of which was when he used the ability that he learned, or that he gained, from fusing with the witch to unlock Gohan's hidden power, which resulted in Ultimate Gohan, and we know how that turned out. He was massively more powerful than he was originally. Strong enough to actually be able to go toe-to-toe with Buu, which is pretty impressive. And he also gave up his own life so that Goku could return to life to fight Buu. Although we know that whenever a Supreme Kai dies, it doesn't really matter because they can retain their body and they don't really go anywhere. They just get a halo over their head. But that's about it for the old Kai. So now let's take a look at what it was like in Universe 7 when there were 5 Supreme Kai. Much like the lower Kai, there was a Supreme Kai for each of the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, and they were overseen by the Grand Supreme Kai. Now all 5 lived on the sacred world of the Kais. Similar to the lower Kai, like King Kai, they were tasked with watching over their quadrant of the universe. Now a question that I get asked a lot is, why is there a need for a Kai and a Supreme Kai for each quadrant? And the answer to that is simple. It's the lower Kai only watch over the living world of their quadrant, while the Supreme Kai oversees both the living and the other world. Now, in 5 million before age, all 5 of the Supreme Kai from Universe 7 battled Majin Buu. Now, the first of the Supreme Kai to fall to Buu was the West Supreme Kai, and she is the only female Supreme Kai, but we're only calling her a female, calling her a her because of her appearance, because like I said earlier, the Shinjin do not have genders, so despite her appearance, she's not actually a she. But instead of absorbing her, Buu just killed her. The second of Buu's victims was the North Supreme Kai. His appearance was that of an old man. He shared a lot of Shin's features, but he looks older and he has facial hair. He was considered the finest swordsman in Universe 7. However, like the West Supreme Kai, he was no match for Buu and was almost immediately killed. The Southern Supreme Kai was the next to fight Buu. The Southern Supreme Kai was the strongest of the Supreme Kai in Universe 7 by far. It is believed that the only 2 Supreme Kai that are more powerful than him are from other universes, Pel from Universe 2 and Zamasu. He was strong enough to fight evenly with Buu until Buu absorbed him, turning into Huge Buu. Now his power was so great that Huge Buu's power was second only to that of Buhan's power, if we're talking about Buu's different versions. Like the Grand Supreme Kai, he was fused with Buu for so long though that he became permanently fused with Buu, part of who Buu is. Now, the next to go was the Grand Supreme Kai. Now, even though he was the Grand Supreme Kai, he was not the most powerful of the Supreme Kai. His power was second to that of the Southern Supreme Kai. Now, while the other 4 Supreme Kai had quadrants to look over of their own, he was to oversee the entire universe, making him the highest ranking god in Universe 7. Now, while Shin and the Grand Supreme Kai were fighting Huge Buu, they were losing, but just before Buu was about to kill Shin, the Grand Supreme Kai intervened, and as a result, he was absorbed by Buu, just like Southern Supreme Kai was. Now, when this happened, it actually calmed Buu down, weakened him, and it changed his personality. And he's also the reason for Fat Buu's appearance, since he himself was a big ol' squinty-eyed fat guy. Thanks to this, like I said, Buu actually spared Shin's life. Like the Supreme Kai, he is permanently fused with Buu because of the amount of time that he was a part of Buu. And this is where I'm going to end this video. I'm going to give Shin and Kibito a separate video. However, before I talk about Kibito, there's something else that I need to explain. In the beginning of this video, I said that it was important that you understand that there's a difference in a Supreme Kai and the Supreme Kai, meaning that there are different roles or different ranks filled by Supreme Kai other than being the Supreme Kai. And that is what I'll be explaining in the next video in this series. So with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and I will see you guys next time.